Hello students, this is Hardik sir and now we will start with the part 4 of lesson number 3, History. The Delhi Sultans from standard 7. The title of the book is Our Past. So with the Delhi Sultans, first we will find about in this part we will find about the administration and consolidation. So this is gonna be a very small part because we are not going to discuss much information, as we are going to discuss only the limited things which are very important to us. So first, to have reliable governors. The early Delhi Sultans, especially Iltutmish, favored their special slaves. They were purchased slaves for military service. They were called bandak, that is bandagan in Persian. As you will find in your textbook, that bandagan word is used in your textbook. They were called bandagan, so they were more reliable. Why he used them? So these slaves were actually purchased for military services, okay, and they were more reliable and they were more trustworthy because they were purely dependent upon their masters. So that was the reason that Iltutmish favored these special slaves. The Khiljis and Tughlaqs also continued to use bandagan and also raised people of humble birth who were their clients to high positions like governors and generals. So this you will come to know that birth. So that comes to know that from birth only. So the next successor of governor will be the next governor only. So after a particular general's death or retirement, his son would be the next general. So this part, as you can understand, now the succession period also started with this. The officials now, this system was now being hereditary. So the Khiljis and Tughlaqs appointed military commanders as governors of territories of varying sizes. So with Khiljis and Tughlaqs, you will find information that commanders and generals were there for different territories. They all territories were not of same size, they were of different sizes. These lands were called Ikta, as we have already seen in the previous video. In this video also we will be finding some important words. You will find the meaning of Ikta. The territories under the military commanders, they were known as Ikta. So these Iktadar, the people who controlled it, were known as Iktadar or Mukti, as you can also find with the next part only. With the next sentence itself, the holder of these Ikta were known as Mukti or Iktadar. And what was the duty of this Iktadar or Mukti? What were their role? What they were doing? So their duty was to lead military campaigns and maintain law and order in their Iktas. So leading of military campaigns and also to maintain the law and order system. That was their main job. In return, Muktis collected the revenues as they were given, and those as a salary, as assignment they had submitted, and they also paid their soldiers from this revenue. So whatever they collected, number of taxes, and after those taxes they used to pay these taxes, means the revenue or the salary, to even the soldiers. So their remaining part will be their income. Under Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad Tughlaq, accountants were appointed to check the amount collected by the Mukti. So now there were the accountants also to check that what was their income and how they spent it. So there was also a check about their income and expense. As Delhi Sultans brought the hinterland of the cities under their control, we have already seen with the previous video what is hinterland. So that is the part of the city that supplies goods. So now the hinterlands were also under their control and they forced the Samantas. We have already seen who were Samantas in the first video, and the rich landlords to accept their authority. So now these Samantas and rich landlords, now they had authority over these particular parts. But as we know, the attacks of Mongols and under Genghis Khan forced the Khiljis and Tughlaq to mobilize a large standing army in Delhi. So this was also a big expenditure we can come to know for the maintenance of such a big or such a huge army in Delhi. We have already seen with the first paragraph, they were the bandagan, as we have already seen. We find again the same part being discussed in little detail. So these Khiljis and Tughlaqs also continued this practice of bandagan. So who were bandagan? They were the purchased slaves, okay, and their position, they were appointed ultimately as governor or as generals, but that was only on the basis of birth. So in the system, so these elites, particularly the scholar people and even the authors of Tawarik, means the authors who have written these histories, so they have also criticized this system. And why they have criticized? Because they found that being low and base born. According to them, the person who was capable, he or she might not have been given chance, and only because of the birth, as we have seen birthright, only because of the birth somebody was given an opportunity, because now these offices become hereditary. You can find all the words which we have already seen. Just pause the video, go through all the words very carefully. Okay. With the next part, you will find that the predecessors appointed by military commanders as governors of territories of varying sizes, they were the governors or generals. They were appointed, okay, just like them, Khiljis and Tughlaq, they had done the same, and before them also the rulers also had done the same thing. These territories were called Ikta, and holders were known as Iktadar or Mukti. We have already seen these things. Muktis were responsible for army, military campaigns, and for maintenance of law and order. Accountants were also there, so you can find again the information just to check the amount or revenue that is collected by Muktis. So who were not allowed to collect revenue more than that prescribed by the state. So they were not allowed for collecting more and more revenue. They had some restrictions, so that's why they had the accountants to keep a check on these Muktis. With the next part, you will find that Delhi Sultans had complete control over the hinterland, and now you will find that they had the three types of taxes. So during Alauddin Khilji's reign or regime, the state brought the assessment and collection of land revenue under its control. So previously it was not under their control. They were under the control of Samantas and other governors or other generals, but now it was directly under the Sultan. There were three types of taxes. First, as we have already seen, on cultivation, that was around 50%, that was known as kharaj, and second on cattle, and third on houses. So there were three types of taxes, as you can see on the screen. Now, as the part of subcontinent was outside the control of Delhi Sultan, it was difficult to control distant provinces from Delhi. So as if Delhi was here, so Bengal being very far, it was not easy for Sultan to control. So soon after annexation of southern India, the entire region became independent. So as the area developed, slowly and gradually the different parts were now divided. They themselves, the governors or the generals themselves, declared as the rulers, and they became all independent. The local chieftains established their rule over these regions, as you can find. See, the local chieftains established their rule. So now thus they became independent, we can say. The Mongols led by Genghis Khan invaded Transoxiana. We have seen in the first video, in the introductory video of the lesson, in the year 1219, and because of such attacks, number of attacks that used to be, so such attacks frequented during the reign of Alauddin Khilji and in the early years of Muhammad Tughlaq's rule, and this forced the rulers to mobilize a large army, and because of that only they had to expend for a large standing army in Delhi, and it posed a huge administrative challenge. So that was also a huge administrative challenge, because you can understand, to survive or just to take care of such a huge army is not easy. The revenue, the money, that is the most important thing, and for that also they have to collect revenue at regular level, but as it was not possible every time. You can find the rulers of Delhi in this particular part. So there are number of rulers given, as you can find in a clockwise order. Just pause your video once and go through the names of all the rulers. Now with the Sultanate in the 15th and 16th centuries, this would be the last important point or the last title you will find in your lesson. So the Tughlaq, the Sayyid and Lodi dynasties ruled from Delhi and Agra until 1526. So you can find the Lodi dynasty was the last to rule until 1526. Ibrahim Lodi was defeated by Babur. You can find the Mughals established empire in 1526. By that time, Jaunpur, Bengal, Malwa, Gujarat, Rajasthan and entire South India had independent rulers. So by that time means by 1526, they had all now their independent rulers, and also they had their own prosperous capitals. New ruling dynasties also came into existence like Afghans and also Rajputs. Sher Shah Suri challenged and defeated Mughal Emperor Humayun. He captured Delhi and established his own dynasty, that's known as Suri dynasty, but he ruled only for 14 years, that is from 1540 to 1555. but his administration became the model followed by great Mughal Emperor Akbar, who ruled from 1556 to 1605, and when he consolidated the Mughal Empire. So this is the particular part you will find in your textbook also. Go through your textbook. As I told you, this is gonna be a very short video. It will be much informative, and after this you will find your exercise. Thank you. Keep learning, keep watching.